Are you tired of seeing your teens waste their breaks? Do you want them to balance fun and productive activities but not sure how? In this video, I'm going to show you the 4S process that can help you coach your teens to maximize their breaks, including winter, spring, and especially summer breaks. I'll quickly show you the 4-step process and then show you how I use this with my 16-year-old sister. Let's jump right in. Step number 1. Set up a time to brain dump break activities with your child. This can be particularly useful for your child to start to become intentional in what they want to start or achieve by the end of their break. You can phrase this conversation with your child as, "Hey, I really want us to figure out what you and I are planning or will do for the rest of the summer. Can we game plan together after dinner tomorrow?" Should probably only take 30 minutes or so. Once you have that designated time, then steps 2 to 4 will walk you through how to have that game plan session with your child. Step number 2. Set a 10-minute timer to write ideas on a sticky note. Let's imagine that you and your child are in your game planning session. The agenda you can share with your child is you'll show the prompt, you'll share some ground rules, you will model an example of what idea to write on a sticky note, and then the 4th one is both of you are going to do the activity together. The prompt is, what activities do you want to start before your break ends? The ground rules are to write as many ideas within 10 minutes, and then the second is to write one idea per sticky note. For example, when I did this activity with my sister, one of the things that I wrote down in my sticky note is to work out 3 times per week for 30 minutes each. Afterwards, I asked her if she had any questions before we got started, and when she had no questions and we were on the same page, I set up that 10-minute timer and we started writing as many ideas down in our sticky notes. Sometimes when you're brain dumping, you may get stuck on what idea to write, so these are some guiding questions that you can share with your child. What do you want to do for yourself during this break? What activities will make you happy to do? And when your break finishes, what would you like to look back on that you did? Once the 10-minute timer goes off and you have a lot of different ideas on your sticky notes, then you can go on to step number 3. Step number 3. Segment ideas based on start date. The reason why we want to segment based on start date rather than end date is because we want them to get started and make progress. The start date will vary based on your child's break. For example, if it's the summer, you can have different segmentations like start this week, start by the end of June, start by the end of July. And once you have these start dates in mind, then each of you can start putting your sticky notes based on that segmentation. When that's complete, I would encourage you all to go through each idea based on the start date and dive deeper. For example, if your child puts eat, sleep, play in the this week category, you can ask them specific questions like, can you walk me through what reading and playing means? How long do you think you want to spend on reading and playing? Once you do that for each of the segmentations, then ideally, both of you will have more clarity on what each idea means and when you plan to start them. Step number 4. Shape an accountability system with your child. There's a quote from Taylor Swift that says, "Just because you made a good plan doesn't mean that's what's gonna happen." And I agree with Taylor Swift. Making the plan is 50%. Doing it is the other 50%. And this is where creating an accountability system is essential. Some ideas you can explore are, number 1, ask your child, how can I best support you to make the most out of your break? The second idea is to set up a consistent 30-minute check-in where your child can share their progress of their accomplishments and their challenges. This can also be during a consistent family event like Friday night dinners. And the third idea is with your sticky notes, if you've put it on a wall, then you can make another segment called completed. And whenever your child finishes that idea, then they can put it in that category. That way you can see which ones are remaining and which ones have been completed. Now that you've learned about the 4S process, let's see this in action with my 16-year-old sister. All right, Gabby, in the next 10 minutes, you and I are going to write as many ideas of what we want to do for our summer breaks. We're gonna put it down in this digital whiteboard called Miro, and we're gonna use the sticky notes feature here to write some ideas down. And in the next 10 minutes, we just wanna write one idea per sticky note. And if you and I get stuck, we can think of these questions of what do you want to do for yourself during this break? What activities will make you happy to do? When your break finishes, what would you like to look back on that you did? And after the 10 minutes, we'll talk through our ideas and segment them based on when we want to start them. Ready to start?
Yep.
A few minutes later.
Okay, wow, we have a lot of awesome ideas here. I am noticing that a lot of the things you have are like really specific for your health, for your social life, for your academics. At the bottom of the board here, we have categories of when we want to do these. We want to either start it this week, start it before June ends, before July ends, or start it anytime like throughout the summer. When you're ready, start putting your own sticky notes of when you would like to start these, or if you would like it to be consistent throughout your entire summer break.
Oh, those are when you want them to start or when you want to be done with them?
When you want to start, ideally.
Oh, okay.
Okay, so now let's just go through each of these categories. With the this week, what are some of the things that you put that you want to be able to finish before, let's say, next Sunday?
Okay, first, figure out my outfit plus makeup for Pride. Pride is literally next weekend, so I need to figure it out. Set aside half a day for studying for the ACT each week. I'm taking the ACT in July.
Nice. Yeah, I think earlier you asked about should we segment these based on when we want to start it or when we want to end it by. The reason I wanted it to be more about when we want to start it is so we can be intentional in making progress. If you tell yourself that these are the things I do want to start by this time, then it's a little bit more specific and a little bit more action driven. And then in terms of by end of June, what did you have?
I put learn how to invest plus budget, aka limit my spending on boba and matcha lattes per month. Spend a lot on drinks. I need to stop doing that.
I know you've had that in mind last year too, and even throughout your sophomore year. What do you think is like the smallest thing you can do to get started on that?
Maybe like create a spreadsheet of all the things I love spending on, like drinks.
Nice. Yes, I think there's really great budget templates that I can share with you and you can experiment with it. Okay, let's do July.
I want to start my summer assignments after summer bio and my ACT ends because I don't have the energy to also do my summer assignments on top of all of that.
Do you want to change it up to say start rather than finish?
Yeah.
The press-on nails, I'm curious, what is the smallest thing that you think you can do to get started on that?
The main things I need are nail tips. I did get a pack of 500 of them, and then I need the primary colors of all the gel polishes, and I need nail lamp, I need brushes, I need buffers, I need isopropyl alcohol.
Sounds like a good long list, and it's good you already have the list, but to make action on that, is it ordering it?
Yeah, I think ordering it, but I'm waiting for my first full paycheck to come in.
Okay, so all of summer is pretty popular. What did you have here?
First, I put workout at gym with my friends once 2 times per week for an hour each. And then next was to hang out with friends at least once a week, specifically outside of summer bio, because I need a life, a social life. I just like seeing my friends. Next is to explore more of the Bay Area with friends and family, maybe try boarding places and especially nature. Next is get at least 7 hours of sleep every day. I think that one's pretty self-explanatory. I need my sleep. Next is hang out with my sister and her wife, hang out with parents at least once a week, and like try to have a family day at least once a week. Lastly is to try to learn a lot at my summer internship and make connections.
Awesome. I love how everything you have in all of summer is consistency based of how many times you want to work out with your friends, how many times you want to hang out with our parents and so forth. As you know, when you set these plans, that's about 50% of the way. The other 50% is actually doing it. What do you think you need to be held accountable to these ideas?
I guess like one of my favorite ways to keep accountability for myself is to-do lists on my notes app. I love to-do lists. So do some of those and maybe like transfer the stuff that was on that board onto my notes app, and having like my family and friends help me stay accountable with my goals, and putting stuff on Google Calendar if it's a scheduled thing.
Nice. I like how you have your own task management with your notes app, and then when it comes to planning things, having in your calendar to like look forward to It sounds like an effective strategy, and leaning in friends and family for accountability is also, I find that very useful. So on that note, how do you think I can support you as your older sister on those things? Like, would it be useful if I check in with you weekly on these things? Would it be helpful you actually just like share your to-do list with me?
Yeah, I think weekly check-ins is good, and like just sharing about my week, like a very chill check-in would be pretty helpful.
To wrap this all up, in terms of this activity, where would you say you were from 1 to 10?
I would say 10. I had a lot of goals I wanted to do this summer, but they were kind of just like stuff I want to do, not like within a specific time frame or like specific SMART goals. So I think this activity helped me a lot in understanding what my summer would look like.
Okay, well, any last thoughts or words you want to share?
Thank you so much for this summer game planning session. It was very beneficial.
To recap, the 4S process is perfect for coaching teens to maximize their breaks. It teaches them how to plan, set a timeline, and hold themselves accountable. If you'd like to learn more on how your child can continue to improve their executive function skills like planning, task initiation, task management, organization, and more, check out our video on Should My Child Work with an Executive Function Coach. With that, let me know in the comments below when you plan to start your brain dump session with your child or your younger sibling. Thanks for watching.
Make sure to hit that like button, smash that subscribe button, and click the notification bell to tune into more videos like this and know when they're coming out.